On this episode of His Children, a Special Kids podcast, Daniel Crosby, a licensed professional counselor with Branches Counseling Center, helps get things started in a new year with some insight about setting goals and looking forward in 2021.
But here's where this came up for me, Jake, and that is over the last couple of weeks, I've been reading through the book of Proverbs, and I love the book of Proverbs. Here's a great goal. This is a rabbit trail. The book of Proverbs has 31 chapters, which matches how many days are in a month, and so you could technically read through the entire book of Proverbs in 1 month by just reading each chapter one day.
I love that.
By reading a chapter each day. It's a great goal, and it's just packed with just catchy little good advice. It's just really good advice. So I've been reading the book of Proverbs, and it turns out, as I'm reading the book of Proverbs, Proverbs is very repetitive. If you've never read it, it's incredibly repetitive, and it talks about wise people, and it talks about foolish people. And turns out it speaks way more highly of wise people than it does foolish people. It says, "Be like this wise person. Do not be like this foolish person." And so on that same line, it talks very, very well of humble people, and it talks very, very poorly of prideful people. It talks about how prideful people will, ultimately be destroyed. And I'm like, wow, that's really dramatic. I don't want any part of that. So I better start working on humility this year, and that's going to keep me in those guardrails. And so as I'm living and trying to not watch the news and trying to not focus on social media.
Good
idea. I just can't help but look at our world right now, and there is a complete lack of wisdom, and there's a complete lack of humility that we're seeing on social media, and we're seeing on the news, and we're seeing in, quite honestly, in conversations among friends, which there's just so much divisiveness right now. And so what I decided to do, I'm going to adopt those this year. And I invite anybody that wants to join me in those two. You can join me, but I'm focusing on wisdom and humility this year. And there are two actions that go with those. And again, this comes from Proverbs as I'm reading and I'm seeing these patterns. And it talks very frequently about someone with wisdom knows when not to speak. So to put it succinctly, a wise person knows when to shut their mouth. And I look on social media and I look on the news and I'm like, wow, we are really lacking that right now. Knowing when not to talk. But then again, along the same lines, humility, it talks about, humility is admitting that you don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. You don't have everything together. And so I thought, well, what's the opposite of talking less? Well, that's listening more. So as I'm reading Proverbs, as I'm thinking about my words, I said, I'm going to try and be wise, and I'm going to try and be humble. And that means I'm going to try and use good discernment on when not to speak. And I'm going to try to admit that, I don't know everything, and I need to really listen to other people's perspectives because they might have some knowledge that can help me or inform me. So that's my goal. It is, I'm in the middle of that experiment right now. So we'll see at the end of 2021. Am I wiser and more humble than I was at the beginning? But those are what I'm using as my guardrails right now, to kind of keep me centered and focused in the right direction.
Again, we appreciate Daniel for being a part of this week's episode. If you or someone you know are interested in counseling services or would like to find out more about Branches, you can visit their website, branchescounselingcenter.com, or give them a call at 615-904-7170. Special Kids is a nonprofit organization based in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We are a Christ-focused therapy and nursing center for children with special needs. Our mission is to serve Jesus Christ by caring for his children. Since 1998, we've grown to serve more than 4,000 children from nearly 20 counties across the state of Tennessee. If you or someone you know are interested in what we do and would like to find out more about providing services to a child in need, please go to specialkidstn.com. There we have information about all of our programs and therapies we provide, as well as links for you to sign up for our mailing list. To contact Special Kids, you can find us at 2131 East Main Street, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, or reach out to us by phone by calling 615-890-1003. We also encourage you to follow us on social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, to stay up to date with the latest news, campus updates, opportunities for you to be a part of our mission, past episodes of this podcast,